All right, welcome back again to How to Draw the Incredible Hulk Part 5. All right, so this is basically what I have completed so far. I have drawn in his trench coat and everything. And before I go on to draw on the Absorian, which I had already drawn the outline for, I'll go ahead and draw in his vest, okay? Okay, to show that. There we go. There we go. All right. We'll focus on that later. I'm going to erase this a little bit. Make this trench coat thicker. There we go. All right. So go ahead and erase this. So I made his trench coat just a little bit thicker on the edges here to give it a little bit of dimension. All right. All right, so basically what I had done, and it was a little tricky, was determining a position for his defeated opponent, which is the Absorbing Man. And what I did was I drew the line of action going into a parabolic shape here, tapering off to the far right, okay? And what I did was I drew in like a circle, okay, for his upper torso, more circles for his lower, for his abdomen, his pelvis, and what will soon be his leg joint. And right here, I drew some circles, which will represent his shoulder joints. Okay, and I'll go ahead and put a circle right here to pinpoint the elbow joints. I'm gonna go ahead and make his arm just a little bit longer. And once again, he's holding him by the shirt because he's completely defeated. Okay, great. Okay. So we got the shoulder joint right here. We got the other shoulder joint like right here. And just like the Hulk, he's a very muscular character. So I'll go ahead and draw in his biceps. A little bit of his tricep right there. His shoulder joint right there. Well, that's a brachialis muscle. His tricep right here. Okay, elbow joint. Now his forearm. That a little higher. And have his hand curved inward, so basically that will obscure part of Mr. Fixit's shoe. Okay. Again, we're going to go ahead and do the same thing to the other arm. We're going to make that shoulder joint very conspicuous. Okay, because it's apparently sticking out. We'll go ahead and draw in his bicep. It's a big one. That shoulder joint like right here. I'm just going to start back over again. Sorry about that. When it comes to these complex positions, they get a little tricky. You got to have a lot of patience with them as you work with them. As I've learned off and on throughout my art career. So we're going to go ahead, pinpoint that elbow joint, drawing that bicep. and the brachialis muscle and the tricep. Clear this up a little bit so you can see it. Draw that bicep a little smaller. Sorry about that. There we go. Looks like we're gonna have to draw this hand a little farther down. It'll be a lot longer than I anticipated. We're like right there. Perfect. With art, you gotta constantly make adjustments. And one thing when you're drawing a picture, a figure, or a scenery, and you see that something is not quite right, it's best to correct it right then and there. Do not let it ride, because it's your mind telling you that something is not quite right, you know? And you gotta nip it in the bud as soon as possible. There we go. Brachialis muscle coming down here. There we go. Then we're gonna go ahead and I'll go ahead and make his the circle, which will represent his head right here, more visible. I'm not going to etch in his face and all those other features quite yet. It might be in the next segment. Let's see if you can see this. Here we go. Then we're going to go ahead and draw like the line of action. Doing its thing, going in this parabolic pattern. There we go. Then I'm going to go ahead and pinpoint his breast muscles and all that stuff. So there we go. Great. Okay, looks like we're making good headway here. Go ahead and erase these guidelines, especially those that belong to Mr. Fix-It and that are going into the body of the absorbing man. Okay, and this is what the image looks like so far. I'll give you a brief update. There it is. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and kind of etched in the breast muscles here, but those will be obscured by the shirt that he's wearing, because that's basically what he's holding him up with is his shirt. Okay, the tricky part here is the leg. Okay, all right, so this is where the leg. So you see this? Great. Will come down. There we go. This would be like his foot. Maybe it should be a little lower. in this issue, the Absorber Man gave him a tough fight, especially with his ball and chain, which I will be etching in soon. I'll be working with this off and on. And the Hulk took many, many serious blows to the head with that bond chain. Okay, great. All right, so we got the basic outline of how we want this, how we want the Absorbing Man, and what I'm going to do is snake around the feet, coming from someplace in the background. Okay, the chain. Okay, that's attached to his ball. There we go. Okay, this is just the guideline for that big old chain I'm going to draw in. And it's snaking around right here. And where is that infamous ball? So you can go put it right here. So you can see this. I'm going to place the ball right here. Make it hide. Make it. Yeah, I guess we could go with that concept. Part of it will be hidden by Mr. Fix-It's right leg, which is fine. All right, okay, we got that thing sticking up. Okay, of which the chain is attached. Where's that inside there? There we go. This will be modified later on. There we go. Okay, great. We're going to go ahead and etch in the Absorber Man's hands. He's got big hands, just like the Hulk. In fact, in the issue, he touches the Hulk, absorbs his powers, and he in turn becomes the Hulk himself. I thought that was exciting. Erase his foot. All right. 1, 2, 3. And always when you're drawing in the digits of a figure, each digit has 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Just keep that in mind. 1, 2, 3, and lastly 1, 2, 3 for his pinky. All right. So I'm going to make this hand right here. Okay, have the wrist joint come out like that. Okay, great. So this thing is developing nicely, better than I anticipated, I'll say that. There we go. All right. Okay. So we got that so far. Let's go ahead and see what we have up to this point. There we go. Okay, great. Just make sure that you see this. Here we go. We're going to go ahead and etch in the fingers or the hand and digits for the Absorber Man's left arm. Again, each digit, including the thumb, is 3 segments. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Make that loop. 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, 3. Do the same thing with the next digit. Each one is of each digit's comprised of 3 segments. Working at an angle here, it's a little difficult. So you could see it. Perfect. All right. There we go. That wrist right there, wrist bone. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, great. We're going to go and make that tricep a little bit bigger. Actually, I did already. I just didn't make it dark enough. There we go. All right. This is what it looks like up to this point. There we go. Wow. This gets me in the mood to read issue number 348. Without a doubt.